Have you ever opened up Logic and it just felt like a drag to make music? This constant struggle chips away at your passion and leaves you doubting whether you'll actually ever enjoy making music in Logic. In this video, I'm not going to show you some fancy plugin settings or a magic fix for a polished sound. Instead, I'm going to share a powerful shift in actually how you approach making music in Logic by showing you one very important thing you need and then how you can execute it. A couple of years ago, I would open up Logic and try to record and produce the songs I was writing at the time. My task was pretty straightforward, right? I would write a song and then I would chip away at it in Logic, trying to produce what I imagined it to be in my head. There was always this one big flaw, though. I only wrote a song every month or so, and sometimes even less, so I wasn't getting a lot of practice. I just lacked a plan for what I was trying to accomplish. And it's the same thing a lot of you are lacking too when you first start producing music in Logic. So what's your plan for learning Logic? It might sound simple, but many beginners don't have one. I didn't have one at the beginning, but something happened. The 2020 pandemic hit, which reprioritized my entire schedule and allowed me to focus and build a plan. I wrote up my plan on a piece of paper. Pretty simple. Get better at Logic Pro by making instrumental beats. The problem before was every time I opened up Logic, I needed a song to produce, and I didn't have enough songs, so I stalled my learning. Because of that, I just decided to make instrumental beats instead. Creating instrumental songs freed up all my time from writing songs, which gave me the time to focus on the mechanics and skills required to learn everything in Logic. Everything from recording, learning plugins, searching for sounds, how to curate and record your own sounds and create sounds too, mixing, mastering, and even publishing and releasing music. This focus gave me like a sandbox to learn everything from the ground up. And having this plan gave me a path I could follow. Without it, I was just aimless. So how do you create a plan for yourself? And more importantly, how do you execute that plan? So to create your plan, write down the answer to these questions. If you could wave a magic wand and be granted your perfect scenario as a music maker, describe to me what that would look like in a couple sentences. List the top 3 obstacles that are getting in the way of achieving your magic wand perfect scenario as a music maker. How much time can you spend on learning music production right now? The answers to these 3 questions is going to help you create the plan. For example, if you can only spend 2 hours a week on music, then producing 5 songs a week is just unreasonable. 2, knowing your obstacles will help you find a plan that targets those issues so you can tackle them. And 3, knowing your perfect scenario sets your mind to the future and allows you to work backwards to create the plan that can help you get there. So what was my perfect scenario at the time? My perfect scenario was to be a confident producer who can create polished music. I wanted to do this all from the comfort of my home. The biggest obstacles for me at the time were creating interesting sounds, getting strong workflows in Logic, and learning the fundamentals of mixing and mastering. Since it was the pandemic at the time, I could spend upwards of 20 hours a week on this. With this plan, I now had a vision and purpose every time I opened up Logic. The key thing here is you know what you're doing every time you open Logic, right? A huge problem I see a lot of beginners battle with is they just don't know what to do every time they're trying to practice Logic. For instance, let's say you have 2 hours free one evening when the kids go to bed and you decide, okay, I'm going to use this time to make some music. You open up Logic, browse some sounds, maybe start a song even, or work on an idea, or just tweak an older song. Questions bubble up, you start troubleshooting things, and then you get frustrated. All of a sudden, 2 hours fly by and you really have nothing to show for it. But here's how the same situation could play out if you had a plan. Let's say your plan is to get better at Logic by producing 1 cover song per week. So already that gives you a purpose and what you need to do in Logic every time you open it up and when you have those 2 hours free in the evening. Plus, the biggest benefit here is sticking to that plan, and the compound growth that comes by sticking to that plan will definitely show up over time. Like, think about it. If you did produce 1 cover song a week, that's going to give you 52 songs, which is a lot of practice. And even if you didn't do 1 a week, if you just did 1 every couple of weeks, that's about 26 songs. So the key here is sticking to the plan to get that compound growth. And if you stick to the plan, do you want to be able to do things like record your own instrumentals from home, find cool sounds with software instruments, work with samples, understand how to use plugins with purpose, mix your songs with confidence, and then master them for many different streaming services? You can do all this if you create a plan and stick to it. I guarantee you can get there. So let's get out of the clouds theory for a second and come back to an example. I stuck with my instrumental channel for over a year and I created 84 instrumentals, and you can easily hear the difference between the first instrumentals and the ones I did, a year after that first one. Listen to one of my first ones here. Now listen to one I did about a year after that. So I challenge you, go and make a plan now. If you're not sure where to start, here are some examples of plans that you can stick with. And these are things that you can do every week or every 2 weeks. Produce cover songs, record only guitar-based songs, just focus on making groovy bass and drum tracks, record other people's songs if you don't want to actually create the music, produce just vocals and record your own voice over karaoke tracks, mix 1 song per week, master 5 songs per week, shadow a professional in the studio, teach an elementary class on how to use Logic, just focus on making 2 new ideas every week, or build an instrumental channel like myself. All of these examples are things that could help you learn Logic faster and finally reach that level of where you want to be in Logic. But it's not going to help you actually publish your music, because that's a real fear that a lot of you have. It's why you need to watch this video right here, and I'm going to show you the proven formula to crush your self-doubt and fear so that you can start releasing your music as soon as possible. I still use this formula, and I've been able to release hundreds of songs on Spotify.